Hey everyone, Matt here and welcome back to the channel. And today I will be doing a side-by-side comparison of my where are my cars at? I know. That's more like it. Today I'll be doing a side-by-side comparison of the Tesla Model 3 long-range all-wheel drive, which as of recently is considered the #1 most American-made car in the United States, against the Tesla Model Y long-range all-wheel drive, which is currently #3, trailing behind the Ford Mustang. So let's get started. So to my left here, we have the #1 most American car in the entire United States, the Tesla Model 3. For the purposes of this video, we will only be focusing on the long-range variant of the Model 3, just because the standard range Model Y is no longer offered. So for the long-range all-wheel drive Model 3, you're looking at a base price of $49,990 just before taxes and delivery fee. And for the Model Y, it's going to be an additional $4,000, so you're looking at $53,990 for a base price Model Y. On the Model 3, this one comes, this is the beautiful red multi-coat, which is an additional $2,000 price tag. My Model Y went a little bit of a different route. I chose the pearl white multi-coat on this one. This is currently Tesla's free color. This used to actually cost $1,500. So I know there were some people a while back, like they picked up their Model 3 or Model Y, they paid an extra $1,500 for the white coating, and then literally a few days later after they took delivery, it was free. So people are a little bit upset with that one. All right, some of you may be asking, how is it getting in and out of the Model 3? Just due to the fact that this car does sit a lot lower than the Model Y, it's going to feel more like a sports car getting in and out of the vehicle. As for me, I'm pretty tall, so I find myself hitting my head sometimes on this pillar if I'm not careful. But so getting into the vehicle, you're just going to kind of have to. But once you get in here, though, so it's still very comfy. My legs aren't as elevated in this car as like in the Model Y, but still, it's a very comfortable car to drive. But as I sit, it's more, I get more of like a sports car like feeling. But like I said, both cars handle just fine, just like a sports car. All right, as for the Model Y, getting in and out of it, I find that it's a lot easier to get in and out of the Model Y for two reasons. One, the car does sit a little bit higher in terms of ground clearance, and also it does have this piece here. The Model 3 does not have this. I'm not really sure if you can see it, but basically what they did with the Model Y is they added this basically this 5-inch bracket, and they bolted the seat on top of that. Just gives you that overall like just higher off the ground feeling. So just for me getting in the car, I don't really have to duck my head really at all. I just kind of go and just get in the car. It's pretty simple overall. But as for like just how I drive, I sit a little bit higher, but you can tell by my legs, the legs are a little bit more at like a 90-degree angle, and it's a little bit more comfortable. So maybe if you have buzzer's going off, but if you maybe have back problems, anything like that, you might want to lean more towards the Model Y, just because it's easier to get in and out of. Some people ask, have they changed the seats at all? Nope, the seats feel exactly the same. It's the same vegan leather. These are the most comfortable seats I've ever sat in out of any automobile I've driven. I've driven quite a few in my lifetime, but this is one of the few vehicles where I can drive in this car for all day pretty much, like until I have to charge, and I don't no back pain, no problems, no nothing. These seats are great. Going into ground clearance a little bit more. For ground clearance on the Model 3, you're looking at ground clearance of 5.5 inches. And for the Model Y, you got ground clearance of 6.6 inches. Even though that doesn't seem like that much, honestly, especially looking at them, you can't really tell too much. But if you want to have that kind of higher off the ground feeling, then maybe you're geared a little bit more towards the Model Y. But if you want that more kind of sports car like feel, like when you get into the vehicle, then maybe you should push towards the Model 3. But for both of these vehicles, both of these cars accelerate and handle just like a sports car. I was actually surprised when I went from the Model 3 to the Model Y, just how similar they were. Like I remember picking the Model Y up from the delivery center in Charlotte, and I got in it. I was expecting it to be, what the word I'm looking for is. I was expecting it to be different, a lot different. I was expecting maybe the regen braking was going to be different, the overall handling and steering was going to be different, but it's honestly the same, and that's impressive. But I guess that's most likely due to the fact that these cars share 70% of the same parts, so you can tell they look pretty much the same. Unless like you have a keen eye, it's kind of actually hard to tell on the road which one is which, other than this one is just slightly bigger. Something else to go over too is the frunk space. If you're new to Tesla and you're not quite sure what a frunk is basically a front trunk. So there's no motor here in the front, other than the all-wheel drives have the electric motors underneath, but you're not going to see that at all. But the frunk just allows additional storage. So got the trusty carry-on suitcase back for another appearance. This is just your standard airline, it's considered a large size carry-on suitcase. So opening up the front of the Model 3, we will place our suitcase in here, and fits just fine. Now let's try the Model Y. Actually, I'll kind of close it for you for a little here. Yep, definitely closes just fine. Putting our suitcase into the Model Y. Yep, same thing, fits just fine. So we'll close that. Yep. So both can fit a carry-on suitcase just fine, no worries at all. All right, for cargo space for the Model 3, you're looking at approximately 15 cubic feet of cargo space. Same with the Model Y. It also does offer the underfloor storage here as well, which will be just slightly smaller compared to the Model Y. The second row seats do also fold down, so if you need to fit something maybe a little bit larger and you need that extra room, the Model 3 will definitely help you out there. You can also, there is a bed purchase for this as well. You can actually put a bed in the back of this vehicle. It's the same. It fits in the Model 3 and the Model Y. The only downfall you're going to see with putting a bed in this vehicle is like kind of your legs are going to be here in the trunk of the car, and I've seen it. It looks kind of strange, but honestly, it still works. It's not that big of a deal. All right, and with the Model Y, so comparing to the Model 3's 15 cubic feet of cargo space, with the Model Y, you're going to end up getting 68 cubic feet of cargo space. That is with the second row seats fold down. So simply just hit these electrical latches and your second row seats will fold down. You're not going to get that electrical release and fold down with the Model 3. It's still manual at this time. So overall, still plenty of room in both the vehicles. This also does come with some under storage as well. It's just it is a bit larger than the Model Y. It definitely fits a full carry-on size suitcase for commercial travel. Something that the Model Y has that the Model 3 does not is the option for a 7-seat interior. Comes in at a $3,000 additional price tag, but that allows you to fit 7 passengers in the vehicle versus 5 like in the Model 3. I've seen some videos about the 7-seat variant, and I didn't opt for it, mainly due to the fact that I don't need it. If you have a family where you think you might need 7 passengers, or maybe you have a few pooches or some animals, some you want to transport and you need that extra room, yeah, then definitely go for the 7-passenger variant. Something I've noticed that those back 2 seats might not be the most comfortable for people that are tall. I'd say ideally for small children. If you have like teenagers, something like that, it won't be a very comfortable ride for them. But if you have like toddlers or children under the age of 10, maybe I'd say under a height of 5'5", then yeah, they definitely won't be bad for them. The third row variant, that does allow for the second row seat to move backward and forward. The 5-seat variant does not. For miles per gallon equivalent, you're looking at 141 in the city and 127 highway for the Model 3, and 131 in the city and 117 on the highway for the Model Y, which both of these numbers are very impressive considering the weight of these vehicles. And for those of you that are a little unfamiliar with what miles per gallon equivalent it is, it's basically exactly how it sounds. The EPA decided to use the miles per gallon equivalent just because it's easier to understand. Because like using kilowatt hours and all that is a little confusing. It's not everyone understands it, so the EPA just decided to come up with miles per gallon equivalent. So for cars that weigh this much, producing miles per gallon equivalent numbers in the triple digits. Overall, pretty impressive. For 0 to 60 times, for the Model 3 long-range all-wheel drive, you're looking at a 0 to 60 time of 4.2 seconds, while with the long-range all-wheel drive Model Y, it's clocking in at a 0 to 60 of 4.8 seconds. For both of these vehicles, you can purchase the acceleration boost for an additional $2,000. That will bring your 0 to 60 time on the Model 3 down to 3.7 seconds, while on the Model Y, the acceleration boost, that's going to bring it down to 4.2 seconds. Which that's pretty quick for both of these vehicles, considering the Model 3 weighs 4,250 pounds and your Model Y weighs 4,416 pounds. Both of these vehicles do come standard with autopilot. They also come with the most recent hardware, so you're going to get your Hardware 3, which is also known as the full self-driving computer. You can purchase full self-driving for an additional $10,000. And I know some are going to ask me in the comments, like, well, Matt, do you think full self-driving is worth it? I've actually been asked that a couple times. At the moment, no. But Elon has promised here by the end of September that we will be getting the full self-driving beta for everyone, the button, as he calls it, the opt-in button. But you can do the prescription service. Words are hard today, people, but you can do the subscription service. So for the subscription service, it's $200 a month, and that allows you to get access to the full self-driving suite, with the exception of the actual full self-driving beta. At the moment, when the button does become available, that $200 a month will give you full access to full self-driving. All right, everyone, that's all I got for you today. Hopefully, now that this video is coming to an end, now you're more informed and you're ready to purchase your first Tesla, whether it be the beautiful Model 3 or the beautiful Model Y. As for which one you should choose, I can't answer that for you. Only you can. Both are fantastic vehicles, and I 100% recommend either or. If maybe there were some questions I didn't answer and you have additional questions, please just drop them down in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel and haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button below. It definitely helps me out a lot. But that's all I got. See ya.